Now in 4 News Now at 6, a grieving father losing faith in humanity as the home where his daughter and grandchildren were killed is broken into. What items the looters took that he says can't be replaced.
Well, get ready to grab your sunglasses and lose a layer. I am tracking 80-degree weather in your First Alert forecast.
And a family faces a killer in court. Hear the message one woman had for the man who took her father's life. You're watching 4 News Now at 6. And we start with breaking news out of Spokane South Hill tonight. 4 News Now was there after police say a man was shot with a pellet gun in a road rage incident. It happened at around 1:30 today at 29th and Ray. Police say Alexander Nays shot out another man's driver's side window. That man suffered minor injuries. Nays' vehicle was pulled over in the area of Indiana and Hamilton. He was arrested for second-degree assault.
It really takes it right back down to where I don't care a whole lot for mankind because of these kind of people here. You know, what kind of a degenerate would do that?
Family members say looters stole valuable keepsakes from the North Central Spokane house that caught fire and killed a family of 4. The Desilets family, 7-year-old Christopher, 2-year-old Aiden, and their parents, Ariel and Robert, died in that house fire a little over 2 weeks ago. Marissa Rio tells us how the family found out the home was looted.
Thank you, Derek. The family is actually here now. That's why the boards behind me are down. This is absolutely devastating for them. Fire officials finally allowed them to walk the property for the first time yesterday since the fire. Ariel Desilets' dad says the board on this side of the home was taken down when he arrived, and that's when he knew someone had been inside.
They pulled that down, they pulled the thing off the door. Here's the damage they did to the door.
It was an evening dedicated to rummaging through burnt wood and ash in hopes of finding belongings the family could salvage. But instead, it was tainted by looters.
I'm not too happy about it. There's a special place in hell for people like that.
A mourning family and a house that's barely standing. Yet looters looked at this as an opportunity to steal. In the dirt are remains of Ariel's jewelry box that was likely thrown out from the window upstairs. And as Ariel's family takes us inside the house and up the charred steps, they show us the rest of the jewelry box. The drawers taken out and all the jewelry stolen. And the most sentimental, the wedding ring Lawrence passed on to Robert on his and Ariel's wedding day.
But it's a fairly simple band, gold ring, and it's got two little diagonal slices on it, and the raised piece in the middle has 2 small diamonds and a larger diamond in the center.
Lawrence says they were able to salvage a few keepsakes, but there is still more to look through. Inside, baby Aiden's crib still stands, and toy cars and airplanes are reminiscent of where the boys used to play. Lawrence says they don't even know all that was stolen because they never had the chance to look at all of this before it was ransacked by looters.
Oh, we were devastated all over again. You know, we lost my mom in January. At the end of January, now the beginning of April, we lost 4 more family members, and then we come around and find out people are stealing our stuff.
A police report has been filed, and the Spokane Police Department says this is an active investigation. Ariel's dad asked if you do happen to see or have seen any suspicious activity going on in this home to please call Crime Check. He's really hoping that they can get their ring back. Live in Spokane tonight, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
Just awful, Marissa. Thank you. Spokane Mayor Lisa Brown's public safety levy that could cost property owners hundreds of dollars more a year in taxes will no longer be on the ballot this summer. The mayor and the city council is saying it'll be pushed back until after the mid-year budget review. If it's approved, the money would go toward increasing foot and bike patrols across the city and parks. It would also fund relaunching the Neighborhood Resource Officer program. Plus, it would help fund public or traffic safety projects in every neighborhood and replace 132 police vehicles. The mayor held a press conference today to better explain the decision to delay the vote.
A decision of this magnitude, I think, requires a deep, honest conversation. And I want to make sure we have time to do that. Just started to seem
No word yet on when that levy could return to the ballot. Well, right now in Spokane, the Spokane Public School Board is discussing when a new bond and levy will appear on election ballots. You may remember the failed bond from the February special election. That measure needed 60% approval to pass, but it only received 56%. Superintendent Adam Swinyard says the bond was first recommended to be $400 million. This was the estimated amount needed to cover updates for older SPS buildings. Then, to be more affordable for families, the district settled on $200 million. SPS was hoping to completely rebuild schools like Adams and Madison Elementaries, which were built in the early 1900s. Now, after feedback from hundreds of Spokane residents, the school board is considering an even lesser amount.
And those are hard decisions to make because those needs exist as we stand here today. Those kids and staff are working through the challenges of having outdated facilities. And so I know that weighs heavy on the school board's mind.
And as far as the timeline goes, the options being discussed are August and November of this year or sometime between 2025 and 2027. Well, it is starting to heat up across the inland Northwest, and will we finally be able to leave those sweatshirts at home? Sounds like the answer is yes, Chris.
Yes, but not in the mornings, not tomorrow morning, especially as you're sending the kids out to the bus. I think you're still going to need the sweatshirt. Let's go hour by hour through a beautiful Thursday forecast. We can move quickly because it's a whole lot of sunshines. I wish this were a slot machine. I would get a big payout, but it is going to be 46 degrees at 7 o'clock. That's sweatshirt weather to me, but look how quickly we jump. We're 10 degrees warmer just 2 hours later, 9 o'clock with sunshine. Winds generally light around the region, close to 70 by the end of the lunch period. Great weather to be out for an afternoon stroll if you get a lunch break. We are into the 70s by 2 o'clock, so it will already be in the 70s when kids get out of school, and we'll be topping out at 74 degrees, which is above average with a little bit more of a breeze in the afternoon, but not much. Still out of the northeast at 8 miles per hour. We are going to see another jump in our temperatures for Friday. It looks like that will be the first 80-degree day of the season and pretty much right on time. The average date of our first 80-degree or higher day is May 12th. Friday is the 10th, so we are close. So far, we've hit 77 as our highest, and that was way back on April 14th. That was the last time we were in the 70s. So those 80s are going to be feeling very warm. I say 80s, it is plural. I'll let you know how long we're going to stay with that warm weather and if it's going to last through the Mother's Day weekend in just a few minutes, Derek.
Looking forward to it. Investigators in Ephrata are searching for the person responsible for starting a fire at the city sports complex last night. The Ephrata Fire Department believes the fire was intentional because it began inside of a nearby porta potty. A concession stand and a storage facility at the complex were destroyed in the fire. Well, there's a new team in town. It's called the Hot Team. It's a partnership between code enforcement and police. The team goes into established encampments and provides outreach for people living inside. It then removes the campers and the shelters they built. Our Hunter Bertram tagged along with them and introduces us to members of the team.
The Hot Team pulls hundreds of pounds of trash from this West Central hill.
Our crew will start removing garbage in the area. So the code enforcement component of this program really is cleanup, trying to find these locations, trying to manage complaints, those types of tasks, but we do partner with the police department who makes the majority of the contact with these folks.
Spokane Police.
Just below eyesight on the Centennial Trail in West Central lies this.
There's a lot of camping that happens down there.
On Wednesday, the Spokane Police and the City Enforcement Code Department took me to one of the most challenging encampments they deal with on the hillside.
This one's not occupied, Dave, but there's a little one on the other side. Did you look at that little blanket?
And as you can see, it's not an easy feat to get down here, and there's different things like tarps, tents, and even umbrellas, but worst of all, needles and drugs.
And it just, it makes us feel unsafe.
Many neighbors of the area say they used to take the trails along the river and the hillside, but now, in fear of what's down there, they stay away.
I have never had an issue with somebody living unhoused out here. Never.
Cassie and her dog live in the area. She tells me they hit the trails every day, never having issues with the homeless.
Recently, my dog got out, and we were looking for him, and somebody that was living out here, she tried to help us find him, and that was really great.
It's a mixed bag of emotions in this community, but for the ones who have to remove these encampments, it's taking a toll.
But it's a big challenge when it's some of these very difficult hillsides, steep terrain, loose footing. Those are some of the areas that we're now starting to see activity recur very frequently.
It's a rinse and repeat process, a challenge of critical homelessness we see in our community. But the Hot Team is working to change that and help those camping one day at a time. In West Central, Hunter Bertram, 4 News Now.
Well, for the first time since the war began, the U.S. is halting a shipment of weapons to Israel. We'll explain why coming up. And a man sentenced to life in prison for murdering an 83-year-old man in Deer Park. What he had to say to the victim's family ahead of the sentencing? Next on 4 News Now at 6.
Connect with 4 News Now on KXLY+.
For 27 years, our promise has been to save you green.
So what do you think about these?
We're going to take everything.
From design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,500 off your complete bathroom remodel.
Huh, never a doubt.
See our great selection of Tundras with backup assist technology and other advanced features at Parker Toyota in beautiful Coeur d'Alene.
For over 30 years, we've been keeping you warm.
Or cool, but now we are taking you to the next level of innovation.
Fireplaces, sleek modern design, or traditional electric, efficient and trendy.
Lighting, permanent, decorative, year-long lighting, providing security as well as beauty.
These are just some of the ideas we are bringing to you for the next level at Holiday Heating, Cooling, and Electric. We call it Holiday Innovation. Call us today.
Home. It's both a place and a feeling. At yours, you strive to make new memories, create traditions, share stories, find the fun, embrace the surprises, and celebrate moments big and small. Memories are made at home, in every room, in every moment. Make your house feel like home at the Tin Roof.
So what do you think about these?
We're going to take everything.
From design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,500 off your complete bathroom remodel.
Stormy Daniels takes the stand. Next, Inside Edition. In the same courtroom with Donald Trump. Face to face for the first time in 17 years. Will the jury buy her story? The porn star versus the former president. Then, what you don't know about cleaning.
I had no idea these expire.
They do.
Watch the next Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
It was grace. It was grace that we never have to ever encounter him again. Hopefully. My only hope is that we never have to be entangled with him ever again.
The family of an 83-year-old man brutally murdered in Deer Park, getting a sliver of closure. Richard Purdy was murdered in his home the day after Christmas in 2022. Today, the killer, Gary Alt, sentenced before Purdy's entire family. Our Jordan Smith was in that emotional courtroom today, and he joins us with what the family said to the killer and the prison sentence he'll be serving.
Well, the children and grandchildren of Richard Purdy took to the stand this morning, speaking directly to the convicted killer, Gary Alt. One by one, they spoke to the life-altering heartache and irreparable devastation this murder has brought them. But tonight, they were able to get a small amount of justice.
You are an incorrigible, evil man. You should have been put away from the community years ago.
One by one, the heartbroken family of Richard Purdy took to the podium.
We all got to spend one last Christmas with him, not knowing that the next day he would be brutally murdered by someone.
I am asking the court to issue the strongest sentence possible to protect the public from having to go through what my family has.
Each person fighting through frustration and tears, pressing the court to issue a life sentence to Gary Alt. Alt was convicted by a jury of murdering Purdy the day after Christmas in 2022. The 39-year-old broke into Purdy's home in Deer Park and brutally beat him before stabbing him 27 times. Alt was arrested the next day in connection to a string of assaults on strangers. Days before the murder, Alt is accused of spraying 2 women with bear spray and kicking them in the head. 3 days later, he's accused of striking a man with a hammer in a Target bathroom. Police charged him for Purdy's murder while in custody. After about 40 minutes of the family speaking, Alt was given a chance to make a statement.
I'm not an evil person.
I'm a God-fearing person, and I'm innocent of this crime.
The judge sentenced him to life in prison with no chance of parole. The family happy with the sentencing, but they're pushing for reform. They say the 14-time convicted felon should not have been released from prison to begin with.
He had 3 different reports on him for violations of his parole, and they never made it in front of a judge. He was allowed to kill my father, to hurt those people in the malls, to do all his violence.
And Renee said Alt had a criminal score of 9, the highest threshold for an inmate to qualify for community release. And she's fighting with the legislation right now to create reform within Washington's parole and inmate release programs. Meantime, Alt's trial for those other alleged attacks you saw in the package there is set for next month. In studio, Jordan Smith, 4 News Now.
Your Thursday planner, we are going to start the day off at 42 degrees, a high of 74, blue skies and sunshine, 10 degrees, almost above average. Even warmer weather in the 7-day forecast.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Visit Downtown Coeur d'Alene this holiday season.
Do you have a storage problem? Wisman Storage Containers is your all-in-one local storage solution. We offer a variety of sizes and provide free delivery within the greater Spokane area. Wisman Storage Containers is your locally owned and family-operated storage solution. Don't just store. Secure your stuff today.
Elegance, style, quality, custom made for your project. Agalite shower doors and bath enclosures by River City Glass are designed for a lifetime of use. Timeless beauty that speaks for itself with superior quality and exceptional value. Offering exquisite custom wine room enclosures and office room glass, specializing in custom mirrors crafted to fit your space. Producing high-performance glass for every project, residential and commercial. River City Glass.
Spokane stepped onto the world stage by hosting Expo 74.
And Wendell Ford was there, celebrating our community spirit.
We're still here, continuing that legacy started by Kristen's grandfather in 1943.
To celebrate, we have some of the best financing and savings we've ever offered.
Escape, Bronco, Explorer, and the F-150.
Some with 0% for 72 months. Celebrate with us.
Wendell Ford at the Y on North Division.
Drive for generations.
Take advantage of the tax credits you can, including the annual Washington State Working Families Tax Credit. You can get money back on state taxes already paid. Visit workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov.
Start living your life to the fullest by living simply in a tiny home from Portable Cedar Cabins. Less is truly more with all the amenities and comforts of a traditional home with a much smaller footprint. Each home is custom built and ready for you to move in and start enjoying the little things in life, including financial freedom. Homes from Portable Cedar Cabins are about half the price of the competition and about a quarter of the cost of a traditional home. Contact Portable Cedar Cabins today. Your worry-free tiny home is waiting for you just north of Spirit Lake, Idaho on Highway 41.
All right, welcome back. This is a live look at the Rotary Fountain there in Riverfront Park. Probably still a little cold for any kids to be jumping in, but Chris, you know some of them are going to do it anyway, right?
Oh gosh, absolutely they will. But I was thinking the same thing. It makes me cold just looking at it. I'll tell you what though, Saturday after the Junior Lilac Parade, they are going to
which you are emceeing, right?
Which I am emceeing, is going to be a warm day. We have much warmer weather on the way. Right now it's 62 degrees. With the clouds in Spokane. Boy, once the sun goes behind those clouds, it feels cool. We've cleared out a little bit in Coeur d'Alene after a cloudy day, but it's still only 58 degrees. We are going to see these temperatures jump tomorrow. Here are 4 things to know about your weather. Sunny on Thursday with a warming trend. We'll be in the 70s Thursday and then into the 80s Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. A sunny and warm Mother's Day should be a great day for anything you may have planned. Those clouds are the absolute last gasp of an area of low pressure off to our east that brought the cool and unsettled weather for the past week, that is finally going to be moving off to the east. Here's a look at our upper level winds, and that is going to be moving off to the east as high pressure begins building in, and that is going to bring warm, clear weather for the weekend before it begins to flatten a little bit. We're still going to have warm weather to start the work week, but the winds will pick up a little bit and will cool just a hair. Mother's Day forecast, though, we are in the 80s, both Saturday and Sunday, 82 degrees both days. You'll notice there's one tiny little cloud on Sunday. Late in the day, we may start to see some light clouds start to filter in along with that breeze. I'll have a much better idea of how soon the winds will be picking up in association with that flattening ridge. Tomorrow, I'll keep you updated. I know that Mother's Day forecast is important, and it's a big one for planting. Your temperature trend for overnight lows, we should be in good shape. Forge ahead. This white line is our average high. We'll be in the 40s and 50s over the next 7 days. And beyond that, I think we can sound the alarm that we're all clear to plant. If we do have a late season frost, though, we will be the first to alert you, and we'll make a very big deal about it. Overnight lows tonight will be in the upper 30s and 40s. High temperatures tomorrow in the 70s through North Idaho and eastern Washington. We've got some 80s, Moses Lake, Grand Coulee, and Omak. A whole lot of sunshine in the 7-day forecast. There's that cool down. We'll be in the 70s Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And it is going to be breezy, but between now and then, boy, Chamber of Commerce weather. I'll be back with some Wildlife Wednesday photos in the next half hour, Derek.
Sounds good. Chris, thank you. Still ahead, some in Spokane's Latah Valley neighborhood want to pause on new construction, the changes they want made in their community before building new homes. Next.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
When I was told I had a brain tumor, my life disappeared in a moment. I feared for my future, but even more, I feared for the ones I love. How would they move on without me? But when my doctor told me about the Gamma Knife of Spokane, everything changed. I can get my brain tumor treated in just 1 day and continue living the life I love. Because of Gamma Knife, I have hope.
For over 90 years, the McVeigh Brothers family has been installing the very best in roofing, siding, and windows made for the Inland Northwest. Last year, our 6000 Series Coeur d'Alene windows earned the 2024 Energy Star Most Efficient Award, beating some manufacturers by 20%. So this week, we're celebrating by matching your energy rebate up to $10 per square foot with every window sold. At McVeigh Brothers, we're always working for you.
Every year across the Inland Northwest, hundreds of teens age out of foster care but still need support. That's where Safety Net steps in.
We started Safety Net to help former foster youth take flight so they won't fall through the cracks.
May 24th to 31st is Sip and Shop for Safety Net. Support North Idaho by purchasing a drink or item at specific Coeur d'Alene local eateries and shops.
For every purchase at participating businesses, Numerica will donate $1 up to $3,500. This is how Numerica cares for kids.
We're the advocates.
And we go to court.
The insurance companies take us seriously.
Because we go to court.
And if they don't offer you a settlement you deserve, they know.
We'll go to court.
So if you or a loved one are seriously injured in a crash,
call us.
Oh, I thought for sure he was going to say.
We go to court.
There it is.
We're the advocates. And we go to court. Injured? You deserve an advocate.
Four News Now is brought to you by the Women Helping Women Fund.
All right, take a look at this video of a speeding car going airborne and nearly landing on one man's property in Phoenix. The man says cars speeding through his neighborhood is nothing new, but nothing prepared him for this crash.
I felt and heard thunder shaking the house for about 4 seconds, and then a bright flash, extremely bright.
And the car just missed the homeowner's shed, but the driver of the car did not stick around after the crash, instead running away and leaving a wrecked car behind. And that wasn't the only crash caught on camera. You might have seen this on your social media feeds. This video shows a dump truck colliding with a highway overpass in Virginia. Boom, right there. Thankfully, no one was injured. Well, around the world tonight, for the first time since the war began, the U.S. is pausing a shipment of weapons to Israel. ABC's Perry Russum explains why.
For the first time, a senior U.S. official publicly acknowledging the U.S. paused a shipment of weapons to Israel.
As we have assessed the situation, we paused one shipment of high payload munitions.
A senior administration official telling ABC News the shipment is some 3,500 bombs, and it was stopped over concerns Israel could use them in Rafah.
If we stop weapons necessary to destroy the enemies of the state of Israel at a time of great peril, we will pay a price. This is obscene. It is absurd.
We're going to continue to do what's necessary to ensure that Israel has the means to defend itself.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has vowed to continue the war in Gaza until Hamas is defeated. As ceasefire negotiations continue, an Israeli official says they are wanting and willing to compromise, adding they have security demands they want met, including the ability to continue their fight against Hamas even after they have a deal. Israel is moving forward with its operation in Rafah. Today, Israel Defense Forces say they killed the commander of Hamas's naval unit. According to the Hamas-run health ministry, in the last day, at least 35 people have been killed in Rafah, more than 100 injured.
We haven't been able to get in any aid since Sunday, including fuel, which is a tragedy because fuel is the thing that keeps everything moving in Gaza.
Aid for Gaza was loaded on a cargo ship in Cyprus today. It will be delivered using the pier built by the U.S. It's not clear when that cargo ship will arrive in Gaza. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
Well, the U.S. House of Representatives is passing a one-week extension for a major Federal Aviation Administration bill. It includes a plan to fill a shortfall of 3,000 air traffic controllers, prevent planes from colliding on runways, and set policies for airline refunds. The bill is likely to spark debate in both the House and the Senate. One of the most disputed issues is whether to increase the mandatory retirement age for airline pilots from 65 to 67. Airline groups say it would relieve the pressure of the pilot shortage, but pilots' unions argue there is no data to prove the increase is safe. The Biden administration is expected to make changes to the immigration system. According to ABC, the White House is likely to propose a rule that cracks down on migrants who are ineligible to claim asylum. This rule would give immigration officials the ability to quickly deny those who are not eligible to remain in the U.S. It's not a sweeping change, but it appears to be a tightening of the current immigration rules. The proposal still needs to enter a public comment period. When at least one fight breaks out at a pro-Palestinian protest at the University of Washington. Why tensions were high on campus even before the fight broke out. Plus, 2 Spokane City Council members want to pause new developments in Latah Valley due to wildfire concerns, what they say the community needs before adding even more homes to the area. And Gonzaga could be playing in a one-of-a-kind basketball tournament that pays players. Those stories and much more coming up on 4 News Now at 6:30. Don't go away.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
And now a joke from Yolk's Fresh Market.
What do you call a fake noodle? An imposter.
At Ironstone Furniture and Fire, quality and comfort are the most important component to every piece of furniture. Visit the showroom for a great selection of sofas, chairs, and tables. On sale now. Create comfort and find the latest trends, styles, and deals at Ironstone Furniture and Fire.
When your backyard is bursting with color and beauty, you're feeling more than pride. You've got the power of the flower from the Plant Farm. The power of the flower gives you creativity, inspiration, energy, and so much more. With the helping hand of the Plant Farm, life excites and your talent knows no boundaries. Bring home the power of the flower from the Plant Farm today, because life is better in the garden.
Spokane stepped onto the world stage by hosting Expo 74.
And Wendell Ford was there, celebrating our community spirit.
We're still here, continuing that legacy started by Kristen's grandfather in 1943.
To celebrate, we have some of the best financing and savings we've ever offered.
Escape, Bronco, Explorer, and the F-150.
Some with 0% for 72 months. Celebrate with us.
Wendell Ford at the Y on North Division.
Drive for generations.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on our next job. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. Our thanks to Horizon Credit Union for sponsoring the 4 News Now Extreme Team.
Next ET, Prince Harry back in London. We've got the latest, plus our exclusive with Whoopi Goldberg.
Girl, is that your ringtone?
Yes, it is.
I like that.
And Tom Selleck. Next ET.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
Ricki Lake, when she was told that using Ozempic was her only option to lose weight, what did she do next that has her healthier, happier, and looking like this? Tomorrow, Ricki's here to share her secrets of how she did it without Ozempic on Good Morning America.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Welcome back. As Spokane tries to add more housing developments to keep up with demand, one neighborhood wants to put construction on pause. Latah Valley is a rapidly growing neighborhood in Spokane, but as neighbors saw last summer, it's extremely vulnerable to wildfires. They're hoping a proposed moratorium can solve this issue. Bronte Saratsky joined us live from Latah Valley to explain.
Well, people living in Latah Valley say that last summer's wildfires shed a light on just how vulnerable this area is to fires. They're hoping with a moratorium in place, more precautions can be taken and more work can be done to prevent fires and save everyone's homes.
Huge wake-up call last year with the big fires.
Latah Valley in Spokane sits between Medical Lake and Elk, two towns devastated by wildfires last summer. Amid all of this, the neighborhood dealt with a fire of its own on Thorpe Road. Neighbors say they want the city to take action now before they're next.
The idea of adding more and more homes and more humanity in that situation, literally putting fuel on the fire.
The Inland Northwest is rapidly growing, including Latah Valley. Driving around, you'll see new development signs throughout the neighborhood. Instead of new homes, neighbors say they'd rather see a new fire station.
They're really at a choke point, especially with a lot of the construction happening, evacuation routes. It really does feel scary, I think, for residents.
That's why Councilmember Paul Dillon says he's proposing this moratorium on vacant lots, wanting the neighborhood to focus on increasing its fire safety before welcoming any new buildings.
Last year, with the fires in Latah, we saw people told to evacuate and head south when there was no south, because a lot of these roads, there's one way in and one way out.
If this moratorium were to go into effect, it would last at least 1 year, depending on council's desire to renew. And so far, this ordinance has only been discussed, but we'll be sure to keep you updated as soon as we learn more about what these next steps would look like. Reporting live in Spokane, Bronte Saratsky, 4 News Now.
All right, Bronte, thank you. If the warm weather has you thinking about maybe some spring cleaning, we can take some winter coats off your hands.
That's right, and for the first time ever, 4 News Now is holding a spring closet clean out drive for coats for kids. This has been something people have requested for years.
Yeah.
And we're doing it next Thursday between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. We're collecting your new or gently used coats at several STCU locations in Spokane. and in Coeur d'Alene. Drop off a coat, say hi, and for specific locations, check out the Codes for Kids page at KXLY.com/CodesForKids. I'm excited to see how this works. I think it is going to be a very popular promotion. In the meantime, don't make mom clean closets this weekend, though. It is going to be so nice. You got to get out and enjoy this weather. For Thursday, we're heading up to a high of 74 degrees. Not the warmest we've been so far this season. We hit 77 back in April. 80 degrees on Friday, our warmest day of the season, only to be beat by Saturday and Sunday. Temperature at 82 degrees for Mother's Day with plenty of sunshine and some warm overnight lows. Should be no problem to plant, and if you already do have plants in the ground, you're in good shape through the rest of the week and likely beyond. We'll let you know if something changes in that regard. It is going to be a crisp morning tomorrow. You might need a jacket or a sweatshirt. I certainly would at 39 in Deer Park, 39 in Spirit Lake. I heard they were scraping windows in some spots this morning, so we are not quite out of the cold season yet. 41 in Cheney and Coeur d'Alene, as well as out at Airway Heights. 40 in Meade. Around the region, a few spots still in the 30s, but we've got some warmer nights ahead, and I've got some Wildlife Wednesday photos for you. That's all coming up later in this half hour, Derek.
All right, looking forward to it. Only on 4 News Now, for the first time, a young woman who once lived with Madison Mogen and Kaylee Gonsalves is sharing a promise to her roommates who were murdered in their Moscow home.
Horrible people are going to do what they're going to do. It's not anything that they could have done, and they absolutely did nothing wrong. Have people look at this and look at their name too in a positive light.
Former 1122 King Road roommate Ashlyn Couch details the struggles she faces each day living life after the murders of her 2 best friends. She also says she could have been in the home that night. Hear why only on 4 News Now. You can watch the full report on KXLY.com. Around the Northwest. Violence at a pro-Palestinian protest at the University of Washington. Even before the fists started to fly, tensions were heightened due to a controversial speaker on campus. KOMO's Ryan Sims explains.
Heightened tensions in the heart of the UW campus leading to this. KOMO witnessing a shocking, sudden skirmish with several people involved. Yet as we tried to document what was happening, someone here deliberately spray painted our camera. All of it in the middle of the biggest pro-Palestinian protest on campus so far. In the moments leading up to this fight, those who remained peaceful told us they had a duty to be here.
If we're just sitting at our homes and watching a genocide happen on the TVs, nothing really is going to change.
This protest lasted more than an hour. Umbrellas, as you see, were used to block off the quad area of UW, with some people using broken up trash cans as barriers. Earlier in the day, our cameras captured a line of people streaming through campus as hundreds of people showed up here to see conservative commentator Charlie Kirk.
I want to just try to do a reset on the Israel-Hamas issue. I want to talk about that.
Outside this event hall, no reset for the protesters, as they vowed to stay here until UW cuts all ties with both Israel and Boeing.
And that was Ryan Sims reporting. President Joe Biden will be in Seattle on Friday and Saturday for some campaign receptions. The White House said it will release more details about his visit later on this week. According to the American Cancer Society, Black women continue to have the highest death rate and shortest survival rate of any racial or ethnic group for most cancers. That's why the organization is looking into ways to address cancer disparities.
We need to really get at what those multi-level drivers are to understand how and we can best intervene.
Factors that influence cancer disparities include socioeconomic status, access to care, other health conditions, and medical mistrust.
But there's so much more to that story that we still don't understand as it relates to cancer inequities for Black women.
The American Cancer Society is hoping to enroll at least 100,000 cancer-free black women in a new study. The goal is to help doctors better understand how they can improve the care for black women for future generations. All right, there's a brand new college basketball tournament set to take place next season, and Gonzaga could be a part of it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's the first in-season tournament geared towards NIL money. Why the dollars make sense for Gonzaga to join, next in sports.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by The Cher Show, BroadwaySpokane.com.
I mean, I have to have it.
Is this you? Finding something you can't live without, but your card is... Adding your P1FCU MasterCard to your mobile wallet makes checking out easy online and at the register.
Almost there. Oh.
Open your free Ascend checking account that comes with tons of great benefits at p1fcu.org/free. P1FCU, your community, your credit union.
Country Homes Power, Spokane's Husqvarna Superstore, is the #1 source for the best deals on professional-grade power equipment. Mowers and zero-turn mowers, all backed by factory-trained staff. Country Homes Power, the best choice for Husqvarna since 1947.
Are you struggling to get through the day? Are you experiencing chronic pain, burning, numbness, and tingling in your hands or feet? Pay attention, because you are probably experiencing peripheral neuropathy. The most common symptoms are numbness, burning, muscle cramps, and problems with balance. Neuropathy is treatable, and our office can help. It's time to get real results. Pick up your phone and call us right now. If you're one of the first 25 callers, you'll receive a free nerve damage screening. This nerve damage screening will tell you if you're at risk for serious nerve damage and if you're qualified for our cutting-edge treatment program to stop the nerve damage. Don't wait until it's too late and your symptoms get so bad that you lose your freedom and are restricted to a wheelchair, walker, or need amputation. Call now to be one of the first 25 callers to receive a free nerve damage screening. Hurry, call now to find out if you qualify for our free nerve damage screening and see how we can change your life. It's time to feel better. Call today.
It's time. Time to let your soul breathe a little, to feel the sun on your face, and to feel alive again. It's time to dust off the clubs, to treat yourself, and test out your lungs. It's time to get away to the place that's not so far away, Lakeside Coeur d'Alene. Win a dream giveaway at cda4.fun.
Things you'll hear on Jeopardy Masters this season.
Who is Aquinas?
What is cuneiform?
What's potty training?
6 all-time greats, 1 incredible tournament.
I'm the final boss. This is what I do.
Jeopardy Masters primetime event continues tonight on ABC.
Well, a one-of-a-kind college basketball tournament is set to be finalized in the next few weeks, and Gonzaga could be a part of it. According to CBS Sports, each school would be paid $1 million that can be used for name, image, and likeness funds. Sports Director Julian Minnesone joins us. And Julian, what's the deal with this tournament, and how is Gonzaga involved?
Well, the event will be called the Players Era Festival and will take place in Las Vegas during Thanksgiving. It will be an 8-team tournament, with each school earning a $1 million NIL payout, with even more money awarded to the winners of the event. A number of teams are already on board for this year, such as Oregon, San Diego State, and Alabama. The plans are to double the size of the field to 16 teams in 2025, with Gonzaga as a possible option. Reports also say that players involved would be required to participate in multiple off-the-court activities to earn NIL money. On Saturday, the Spokane Velocity will return to the pitch for the first time in 2 weeks. The team hasn't played since April 27th, and while the time off has been nice, the guys haven't just been sitting around on the couch all day. They've been preparing for one of their toughest games yet. The Velocity will take on Union Omaha, who finished in first place in the USL last year. Velocity midfielder Luis Gil played for Omaha. He knows they're pretty good, and he says the Velocity will have to bring their A game if they want to come away with a win.
We're playing at home. This is an opportunity for us to show out. I know it's our first time playing against them, so it'll be kind of filling it out in the beginning, but it'll be a good game. It'll be one for the fans to see.
And that one kicks off at 6 o'clock on Saturday at One Spokane Stadium. It's also Mom Appreciation Night for Mother's Day weekend. And the Seattle Mariners trail the Minnesota Twins 4-3 in the 7th inning. Mitch Garver has hit a home run for Seattle in this one, and Cal Raleigh has come up clutch as well to cut it to a 1-run ball game. These teams split the first 2 games of this 4-game series. We'll have highlights of this one for you tonight at 11 o'clock. And the Spokane Indians lead the Hillsboro Hops right now 1-0 there in the first inning. This one just got underway there in Hillsboro. The Indians are trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. And this is pretty cool. Former Washington State standout Kyle Manzardo recorded his first career hit in the major leagues today. Manzardo had this pinch hit single in the Cleveland Guardians' 5-4 win over the Detroit Tigers. Manzardo made his pro debut on Monday but failed to get on base until today. He was having a rough go of it in his first 2 games. I think he struck out like 5 times, but
it happens, right?
Yeah, that pinch hit right there made it all worth it.
And there's a whole lot of people in Coeur d'Alene, friends and family, swelling with pride over seeing that. All right, Julian, thank you. Retailers across the U.S. are beginning to feel the pressure as people just aren't spending like they used to. Now, stores are dropping prices on thousands of products. These markdowns come after inflation pushed prices higher for the last 2 years, and stores are hoping to incentivize shoppers to pull out their wallets again. CNN's Ivan Rodriguez has the latest on this sudden turn.
In the last several weeks, a slew of retailers announced price cuts to try and bring shoppers back into stores.
Price cuts are a proven lever to drive sales and grab attention.
Michael's, the arts and crafts store with more than 1,300 stores in the U.S., announced last month it was dropping prices on 5,000 products. And during its most recent earnings call, clothing chain H&M says they believe they'll have lower prices at the end of this year than the beginning. Zach Stambor, senior analyst with eMarketer, says the majority of the items seeing the slash in prices are considered to be discretionary purchases, meaning things that are nice to have but not a necessity.
Retailers are having to convince consumers to open their wallets and spend.
For the last year, shoppers have pulled back as costs have risen 20 to 30% higher than they were 3 years ago. Not only that, but incomes are failing to keep up, resulting in all types of shoppers looking for deals.
Middle-income consumers have also become more mindful about where, when, and how they spend.
One of the hurdles for retailers is getting consumers out of that frugal mindset. Although spending was boosted by purchases of high-ticket items and services like cars and travel, spending on furniture, clothing, and electronics remains weak.
There's a real battle to capture consumers' attention because consumers are thinking twice about when they spend.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Well, a new study suggests flame retardants in car seat foam may increase your exposure to chemicals that can cause cancer. Researchers tested the air inside of cars made between 2015 and 2022. They found potential carcinogens in the air and high levels of them during the summer because warmer temperatures increase how much are released from the seat foam. The researchers say the government should prohibit the use of flame retardants in cars because of the potential health risks. Getting your COVID shot may do more than help prevent you from getting seriously sick from the virus. Recent research shows the shots are linked with up to a 55% reduction in heart failure and up to an 8% reduction in blood clots after an infection. The benefits were found to last up to a year, but were more pronounced in the month shortly after getting the shots. Adults over the age of 65 are now able to get an additional updated COVID vaccine this spring. Public health authorities are also set to greenlight an updated shot in the fall designed to better protect against newer variants.
For the 4th day in a row, temperatures topping out below average, 62 degrees today in Spokane compares to an average high of 65. We're still almost an hour and a half from sunset. I'll be back with some Wildlife Wednesday photos and tell you about some warmer weather on the way.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Think I'm gonna go with a 9-iron.
I'd suggest a 7. No. Oh. Did you know that if a bird picks up your ball, you gotta follow it? Oh, there it is. I think it's to the right.
Nah.
Is this it?
Nope, not it.
More! Can I be frank? At STCU, we're always here to advise and consult, even if you want to go at it your own way.
Let's see what you've got, Frank. I think we should talk.
STCU Business. Partner up.
When I was told I had a brain tumor, my life disappeared in a moment. I feared for my future, but even more, I feared for the ones I love. How would they move on without me? But when my doctor told me about the Gamma Knife of Spokane, everything changed. I can get my brain tumor treated in just one day and continue living the life I love. Because of Gamma Knife, I have hope.
Considering a new air conditioner? Before you commit, call Bill's Heating and AC. We're elevating efficiency and savings by matching heat pump prices to any local air conditioner quotes and setting a new standard for comfort. Why heat pumps? Similar to ACs, they offer high efficiencies to heat and cool your home for a lower cost. And with the purchase of qualifying equipment, you may be eligible to receive a 25C tax credit of up to $3,200. Don't miss out. Call Bill's Heating and AC for your free quote now.
At Ironstone Furniture and Fire, quality and comfort are the most important component to every piece of furniture. Visit the showroom for a great selection of sofas, chairs, and tables. On sale now. Create comfort and find the latest trends, styles, and deals at Ironstone Furniture and Fire.
Four News Now is brought to you by STCU Best of Broadway.
Well, here's a live look of the Osprey Cam in McEwen Park in Coeur d'Alene, and we've got some stuff going on in there, Chris.
Yes, we do. And Osprey in there. There were some
They kicked the geese out then, I guess, huh?
Get out of here, geese in there. I'm squinting to see what's going on, if there are some young'uns in there or not. But well, we could spend an hour looking at this and trying to figure out. But it's so great that we have those cameras to keep an eye on the osprey.
Yeah, and dovetails nicely into Wildlife Wednesday, doesn't it?
It is Wildlife Wednesday, and we're going to go from some big osprey to some even bigger bears. Look at this amazing photo from Mark Vogt of a cinnamon-phased black bear. Just gorgeous. And Mark says this bear is gorging itself. That's what they do in the spring when they get up from hibernation. They eat and eat and eat to get their digestive system rolling again and back on track. And boy, it looks like he's looking right at Mark, thinking that might be a good snack. I don't know, but just an incredible photo from Mark. Thank you, Mark. I love this picture from Courtney Litwin of horned grebes, and I was thinking they look like they could just show up at the Met Gala and walk the runway. They are so beautiful, and the red eye on the one on the right is very striking. Thank you, Courtney. Horned grebes, and almost doesn't look real. This close-up from Larry Crumpleman of a male Rufus hummingbird. Larry tells me that the male Rufus hummingbirds arrive early and stake out their territory. If you've ever seen hummingbirds fight over territory, it is vicious, even though they are wee and very cute. And then the females come later. And of course, the males, much more colorful than the females, but this one is especially dazzling. We have some beautiful weather. I know next week's Wildlife Wednesday is going to be a big one because the photographers will be out enjoying this weather. Our first 80-degree day is on Friday. The average date for 80 degrees is May 12th. So we are right about on time, May 10th, a couple days early. The warmest so far this year has been 77 back on April 14th. And that warming trend is going to continue through Mother's Day, peaking this weekend. And then our temperatures start to moderate as we get into early next week. This white line is average, so we're still above average, but that may not be the trend. Here is our outlook in the 8 to 14 day 4-day forecast, and we're sandwiched in between cooler than average conditions to our west and warmer than average conditions to our south. And it looks like the cooler than average conditions are going to prevail. Tracking our weather pattern, right now we're in a northeasterly flow that kept things cool and cloudy. High pressure will build in for the weekend. That's going to help us warm up, bring the blue skies. Early next week, we get more of a westerly flow. We'll keep our temperatures above average, but start to see the winds pick up next week. And then this time next week, upper level trough starts moving back in, and we may be back into the cool and wet weather. So it makes it guilt-free to enjoy these above average temperatures. 82 Saturday and Sunday, and then 70s next week. Junior Lilac Parade bright and early. 10:30, that's bright and early on Saturday.
Early enough.
Yeah.
All right, as we head to another break, here is your look at ABC's primetime lineup for tonight.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
We want your furniture. During our spring cleaning sale, bring in or send us photos of furniture you no longer want. And if it's in good condition, we'll consign it for you. Plus, give you an additional 20% off your next purchase.
Consign furniture. Easy way to sell, smart way to buy.
Bathfitter does showers? That's right. We offer a wide selection of beautiful and functional showers in all shapes and sizes. We can even convert your bath into a shower. How about that? With our seamless one-piece walls and hundreds of design options, you'll get a beautiful new shower to fit your needs, guaranteed for life. Bathfitter's been around for 40 years, and we've been experts at showers for just as long. Get yours today. Bathfitter, it just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
You're feeding it.
I will, I promise. Thanks to our Premier Rewards Visa credit card from ICCU, we earned enough cash back to stock up on puppy supplies.
But we don't have a puppy.
They're very convincing children.
The Medellin Falls Bigfoot Festival returns to Pend Oreille County June 15th and 16th. Discover the rich history, folklore, and mystery. From Sasquatch-themed crafts to Bigfoot merchandise, a 5K fun run, and plenty of food. This event is guaranteed to leave you amazed and entertained. Hear from the county's experts about their Bigfoot sightings or sign up for the Presenters Dinner and talk with them firsthand. The Medellin Falls Bigfoot Festival. For tickets and information, go to mf-bigfoot.com.
This year, make your home more energy efficient and beautiful with McVey Brothers Roofing, Siding, and Windows. Did you know McVey Brothers sells the popular Coeur d'Alene windows? And last year, the 6000 Window and Door Series won the prestigious Energy Star Efficiency Award. Well, right now when you purchase a 6000 Series window, we'll match your energy rebate up to $10 per square foot. Plus give you $500 off any roof you add to the job. At McVey Brothers, we're always working for you.
We want your furniture. During our spring cleaning sale, bring in or send us photos of furniture you no longer want. And if it's in good condition, we'll consign it for you. Plus, give you an additional 20% off your next purchase.
Consign furniture. Easy way to sell, smart way to buy.
Sports on 4 News Now is brought to you by Coeur d'Alene Casino.
Well, as we all know, Mother's Day also marks the start of gardening season in the Northwest, but it's easy to end up with aches and pains the next day if you try to do too much all at once. You can start by mowing your lawn a little less frequently. Some say taller grass is actually healthier and you don't have to push the mower around as often. And when weeds sprout up, I have a hard time with this one. Consider leaving them alone. Weeding is physically demanding and you'll help nature too.
A lot of times weeds can be really good food for those native pollinators, bees and butterflies. So embracing weeds can be good for your sanity and the environment.
In the garden, opt for native perennial plants over annuals so you don't have to replant them every year. And when you're working in the garden, be sure to get up, move around, and stretch every so often. I just don't know if I can get on board with embracing the weed cell.
Well, the weeds they were showing were pretty. Mine are not.
Yeah.
No bees or pollinators are visiting those weeds.
And then the longer you let them go, the harder they are to pull out later once they get really big and the roots get deep.
Oh, yeah.
All right. We'll see you at 11.